Trap House is a 2025 action thriller film directed by Michael Dowse and written by Gary Scott Thompson and Tom O'Connor. Set in El Paso, Texas, the film follows an undercover DEA agent, Dave Bautista, and his colleagues in a game of cat and mouse with their teenage children, who use their parents' tactics and intel to rob a dangerous cartel. 2. The cast includes Jack Champion, Sophia Lillis, Tony Dalton, Whitney Peak, Ind Navarrete, Zaire Adams, Kate Del Castillo, and Bobby Cannavale. It was released in the United States on November 14, 2025, by Aura Entertainment. Plot: a team of agents with the Drug Enforcement Agency, DEA, raids a tunnel used to funnel drugs. The team, led by Agents Seal and Washburn, comes under heavy fire, and an agent is killed. Seal's son, Cody, belongs to a friend group of high school students who are children of DEA agents. The group includes Jesse, the child of the agent who died. The death leaves Jesse's family in difficult financial circumstances, compelling them to move. Cody is upset that the DEA does not offer better financial help for Jesse's family. In Mexico, criminal boss Benito Cabrera is angry about the raid on the tunnel. He suspects a rat and orders the killing of one of his men. Cabrera's sister, Natalia, goes to El Paso to manage operations there. Cody and his friends get the idea to start robbing trap houses because they want the money for Jesse. Using their parents' intel and equipment, including night vision goggles, they pull off the heist but steal less than $500. They decide to do it again, robbing a van, stealing much more money, and further upsetting Cabrera. Denny ends up in the hospital with a delayed onset concussion. Cody wants to keep going by robbing another truck, but his friends are hesitant. Only Kyle agrees to continue. They manage to steal the truck, which is filled with drugs, but Seal recognizes his son. Cody's girlfriend, Teresa, comes over to the house with her mom, who is revealed as Natalie. Teresa figures out that Cody stole the truck. Natalie has Denny kidnapped from the hospital. Cody must return the drugs to secure her return. Seals tracks Cody's phone. He and other DEA agents kill Benito and Natalie. Seals make it look like Cody was kidnapped along with Denny. Cast: Dave Bautista as Ray Seal, Jack Champion as Cody Seal, Sophia Lillis as Denny Matthews Albright, Kate Del Castillo as Natalia Cabrera, Tony Dalton as Benito Cabrera, Whitney Peak as Yvonne Reynolds, Bobby Cannavale as Andre Washburn, Ind Navarrete as Teresa Flores, Blue Del Barrio as Jesse Padilla, Zaire Adams as Kyle Morales Alvarez. Production: in April 2024, it was revealed that an action thriller film directed by Michael Dowse and written by Gary Scott Thompson and Tom O'Connor was in development, with Dave Bautista set to star and Jack Champion, Sophia Lillis, Kate Del Castillo, Whitney Peak, Tony Dalton, and Bobby Cannavale rounding out the main cast. Ind Navarrete, Zaire Adams, and Blue Del Barrio also joined the cast. The film was financed and executive produced by Capstone Studios, Signature Entertainment, Creativity Media, and Ashland Hill Media Finance. 3-4. Filming. Principal photography began on April 1, 2024 and took place in and around Albuquerque, New Mexico. 5. Release. In May 2025, Aura Entertainment acquired Trap House as its maiden release, scheduling it for a wide theatrical release in the United States on November 14, 2025. David Michael Bautista Jr., born January 18, 1969, is an American actor and retired professional wrestler. Regarded as one of the most prolific professional wrestlers of the Ruthless Aggression era, he rose to fame for his multiple stints in WWE between 2002 and 2019. Bautista began his wrestling career in 1999 and signed with WWE, then WWF, in 2000. From 2002 to 2010, he gained fame under the ring name Bautista, initially as a member of Evolution. Amongst other championships, Bautista would go on to win the WWE Championship twice and the World Heavyweight Championship 4 times. His first reign as World Heavyweight Champion was the longest in the title's history. He also won the 2005 and 2014 Royal Rumble matches and subsequently headlined WrestleMania 21 and WrestleMania XXX, with the former being one of the top 5 highest-grossing PPV events in wrestling history. He retired from professional wrestling after WrestleMania 35 in 2019. As an actor, Bautista is known for portraying Drax in the Marvel Cinematic Universe, 2014 to 2023, and Rabban in Dune, 2021, and its 2024 sequel. Bautista has additionally starred in Spectre, 2015, Blade Runner 2049, 2017, Final Score, Master Z, Ip Man Legacy, both 2018, Army of the Dead, 2021, Glass Onion, A Knives Out Mystery, 2022, Knock at the Cabin and Parachute, both 2023, and The Last Showgirl, 2024. 2. Industry peers and alike consider Bautista as the best wrestler turned actor of all time. 3-4. Early life. David Michael Bautista Jr. was born in Washington, D.C., on January 18, 1969. The son of Donna Ray, née Mullins, and hairdresser David Michael Bautista. His mother is of Greek descent, while his father was born to Filipino immigrants. 6-7-8. His paternal grandfather served in the Philippine military, worked as a taxi driver and barber, and held other jobs to feed the family. Bautista's mother later came out as a lesbian. 9. He has said that he lived in poverty. 10, and had a hard life, which included exposure to violent crime at an early age. Before reaching the age of 9, 2 bodies had been found on his front lawn and another one nearby. 11. As young as age 13, he had begun stealing cars. 12. By age 17, he was estranged from his parents and living on his own. 13. However, he later said, "I am proud of my parents. They are good, honest, hard-working folks. They taught me the values of working hard." 12. Bautista worked as a nightclub bouncer until he was arrested after a fight that left 2 patrons injured, one of whom was knocked unconscious. 13. After a trial, he was sentenced to 1 year of probation. 13. He worked as a lifeguard. 14. Before deciding to pursue a career in bodybuilding. 13. Which he credits with saving his life. 15. At the age of 30, after having a breakdown from the shame he felt for having to ask a co-worker to lend him money so he could buy Christmas presents for his children, he saw how lucrative a career in professional wrestling could be and decided to pursue it. 9. Part of a series on professional wrestling history. Notable promotions. Notable men. Notable women. Notable tag teams and stables. By region. Styles. Concepts. Culture. Media outlets. Controversies. Lists. Related topics. Vede. Professional wrestling career. Training and early career, 1999 to 2000. Bautista tried out at World Championship Wrestling's power plant, where trainer Dwayne Bruce told him he would never make it in the wrestling business. 16. He then went to the World Wrestling Federation, WWF, who advised him to train with Afa Anoa'i at the Wild Samoan Training Center. 17-18, where he trained and later competed in Anoa'i's World Extreme Wrestling, WXW, promotion. He wrestled his debut match under the ring name Khan on October 30, 1999, less than 3 months before his 31st birthday. 20. He also trained with Marisa Crump in Muay Thai and Eskrima. 1921. World Wrestling Federation / World Wrestling Entertainment / WWE, 2000 to 2010. Ohio Valley Wrestling, 2000 to 2002. Upon signing with the WWF in 2000, Bautista was sent to Ohio Valley Wrestling, OVW, a WWF developmental territory. He made his OVW debut later that year under the ring name Leviathan 19, where he immediately joined forces with SYNN. As a member of the Disciples of SYNN stable, he went undefeated until being beaten at Christmas Chaos by Kane with help from Stone Cold Steve Austin. He later won the OVW Heavyweight Championship from the Machine Doug Basham before losing the belt to the Prototype. A few months later, Bautista left OVW after he was promoted to WWE's main roster. 17. Early storylines, 2002 to 2003. While still in OVW, Bautista began appearing on non-televised WWE events. 22. He began his televised WWE career on May 9, 2002, on an episode of SmackDown. As Deacon Bautista, a heel enforcer for Reverend Devon. 23. He made his WWE in-ring debut in a tag team match teaming with Devon against Farouk and Randy Orton, pinning Orton. Over several weeks, Orton tried to beat Devon and Bautista with different partners, but ultimately lost each time. 24. Bautista suffered his first loss in a match against Ricochet after Devon accidentally punched him, allowing Ricochet to take advantage and pin Bautista. Bautista and Devon argued over the forthcoming weeks, with Bautista eventually turning on Devon. On the November 14 episode of SmackDown, Bautista defeated Devon to end their feud. 25. After splitting with Devon, he was assigned to the Raw brand and was renamed Bautista. He aligned himself with Ric Flair. 26. And feuded with Kane, whom he defeated at Armageddon on December 15. 27. Evolution, 2003 to 2005. Main article, Evolution. In January 2003, Bautista joined Triple H, Ric Flair, and Randy Orton to form the heel stable Evolution. 28. Bautista, however, was sidelined for much of 2003 after he tore his right triceps muscle at a Raw Live event in a tag team match alongside Orton against the Dudley Boys. While training after the injury, Bautista retore his triceps, extending his stay on the sidelines. 29. Bautista made his return on the October 20 episode of Raw, interfering in a match between Goldberg and Shawn Michaels. 30. At Armageddon on December 14, Bautista and Ric Flair became the World Tag Team Champions after winning a Tag Team Turmoil match. 31. While Triple H won the World Heavyweight Championship and Randy Orton the Intercontinental Championship. 32. Bautista and Flair held the titles until the February 16, 2004, episode of Raw, when they were defeated by Booker T and Rob Van Dam. 33. They later defeated Booker T and Van Dam on the March 22 episode of Raw to regain the titles before losing them to Chris Benoit and Edge on the April 19 episode of Raw. 34. 35. 36. In late 2004, the relationship between Bautista and Triple H began to deteriorate in kayfabe. After a loss to Chris Jericho, Triple H verbally insulted Bautista. Bautista teased leaving Evolution that night, but declared that he was still part of Evolution and that they tricked everyone. 37. Despite this ploy, Bautista began behaving more like a face over the next few weeks in comparison to Evolution's heel tactics. One particular moment saw Bautista express disgust as Triple H and Ric Flair boasted about how they had intimidated and/or beat up Jim Ross, Danny Hodge, and Stacy Keibler. Regardless, he continued to show his loyalty to Triple H and Evolution by running down to the ring and assisting them in matches. As 2005 began, Triple H realized the possibility of Bautista becoming a threat to his World Heavyweight Championship. Triple H suggested that he not enter the Royal Rumble on January 30, claiming that it would be selfish of him to do so, and to simply focus on Triple H retaining the title. Bautista entered anyway and went on to win the Rumble, earning the right to participate in the main event of WrestleMania 21 on April 3 against the world champion of his choice. 38. On the February 14 episode of Raw, in an attempt to persuade Bautista to challenge WWE Champion John Bradshaw Layfield, JBL, and challenger John Cena in a triple threat match rather than him, Triple H concocted a scheme to have Bautista run over in a limousine resembling the one used by JBL. Initially, Bautista did not want help from Evolution and wanted to confront JBL by himself. Triple H insisted that Evolution stick together and accompanied Bautista anyway, saving him from the oncoming vehicle. 39 Bautista became aware of the plot while sneakily eavesdropping on fellow Evolution members and signed a contract guaranteeing him a match with the World Heavyweight Champion Triple H at WrestleMania 21, thus leaving Evolution and officially turning face. Bautista initially pretended that he would sign with SmackDown, giving Triple H and Flair the thumbs up, but turned it into a thumbs down before attacking the pair. He emphasized his departure by powerbombing Triple H through the table used for the contract signing. 40. World Heavyweight Champion, 2005 to 2008. Bautista as World Heavyweight Champion in September 2005. Bautista won the World Heavyweight Championship on April 3 by defeating Triple H in the main event of WrestleMania 21. 141 WrestleMania 21 received 1.09 million pay-per-view buys worldwide, the then highest ever number of buys for any non-boxing pay-per-view. Bautista's match with Triple H was described by sports journalist Dave Meltzer as the peak of one of WWE's best storylines in years. 42 Bautista won a rematch with Triple H for the World Heavyweight Championship at Backlash on May 1. 43 After Bautista retained his title against Edge on the May 23 episode of Raw, he was betrayed by Ric Flair, who helped Triple H viciously attack Bautista as Triple H challenged Bautista to a Hell in a Cell match at Vengeance on June 26. 44 Bautista won the match at Vengeance, retaining his title yet again. With this win, Bautista became the first wrestler to pin Triple H in a Hell in a Cell match. 45. On the June 30 episode of SmackDown, Bautista was drafted to the SmackDown brand as the last pick in the 2005 WWE Draft Lottery, making a surprise appearance to thwart John Bradshaw Layfield, JBL, who was celebrating his victory in a six-man elimination match to crown the inaugural SmackDown champion. This resulted in Bautista bringing the World Heavyweight Championship to SmackDown. 46 JBL defeated Bautista at the Great American Bash on July 24 by disqualification after the referee saw Bautista use a steel chair. 47 They had a rematch at SummerSlam on August 21 in a no-holds-barred match in which Bautista pinned JBL. 48 The feud culminated in a Texas Bull Rope match on the September 9 episode of SmackDown, with Bautista retaining his championship. 49 Soon after retaining the title in a feud with Eddie Guerrero at No Mercy on October 9, WWE.com reported that Bautista suffered a muscle tear in his back at the taping for the November 11 episode of SmackDown, due to a double chokeslam from Big Show and Kane. 51 Plans had been made for Bautista to defend the title in a triple threat match with Eddie Guerrero and Randy Orton on the November 18 episode of SmackDown, but the match did not take place as Guerrero unexpectedly died on November 13, the date of the taping. Bautista paid homage to Guerrero during the Raw and SmackDown tribute shows dedicated to Guerrero's memory. 52. Bautista led Team SmackDown against Team Raw in an interbrand feud before Survivor Series on November 27. The feud saw Big Show and Kane chokeslamming Bautista several more times in the weeks leading up to Survivor Series in an on-camera explanation for Bautista's injury. 53 Bautista ultimately helped his team win the match at Survivor Series. 54 After Bautista saved Rey Mysterio from Big Show and Kane on the December 2 episode of SmackDown, 55 leading to a match with Mysterio teaming with Bautista to face Big Show and Kane at Armageddon on December 18. On the December 16 episode of SmackDown, Bautista and Mysterio defeated WWE Tag Team Champions 56mm to win the titles in a match they dedicated to Eddie Guerrero, and thus Bautista became a double champion. 57 After this, the clash with Big Show and Kane at Armageddon turned into a champions versus champions encounter. Bautista and Mysterio lost to Big Show and Kane at Armageddon. 58 2 weeks later on the December 30 episode of SmackDown, MNM defeated Bautista and Mysterio after help from the returning Mark Henry to regain the WWE Tag Team Championship. During the interference, Henry attacked Bautista, and performed his world's strongest slam. 59 The teams met again in a steel cage match on the January 6, 2006 episode of SmackDown. That Henry also became involved in, and Bautista and Mysterio were defeated again. 60 Bautista tore his right triceps during a match with Mark Henry at a house show on January 6, forcing him to vacate the World Heavyweight Championship at the SmackDown tapings on January 13, 2 days after surpassing Triple H's previous mark of 280 days for longest reigning champion. In his book, Bautista Unleashed, Bautista said that he believed that Henry was careless during their match as he never gave Bautista any warning that the move was coming. Bautista went on to have successful surgery on his arm on January 12. 61. Bautista in 2006. Bautista made an appearance at No Way Out on February 19 and told the crowd that once his arm had healed he would return to regain the World Heavyweight Championship. 62 At WrestleMania 22 on April 2, he interrupted a Randy Orton interview, putting SmackDown on notice that the World Heavyweight Championship would return to him by WrestleMania 23. 63. Bautista made his official return during the July 7 episode of SmackDown, immediately calling out and entering into a feud with Mark Henry. 64 At Saturday night's main event XXXIII, Bautista won a 6-man tag match with teammates Rey Mysterio and Bobby Lashley, defeating World Heavyweight Champion King Booker, Finlay, and Mark Henry. 65 Henry was legitimately injured and was ruled out of the scheduled match between the two at the Great American Bash on July 23, thus further delaying a potential feud between the two after being delayed by Bautista's initial injury. 64. Bautista put out an open challenge to replace the injured Henry, which was answered by Mr. Kennedy. 66 At the Great American Bash, Bautista lost this match via disqualification for failing to stop choking Kennedy into the turnbuckle with his boot, but continued to attack Kennedy, resulting in a laceration on his forehead so severe that it exposed his cranium and required more than 20 stitches to close. 67-68 Bautista lost another match with Kennedy via count-out in a rematch on the July 28 episode of SmackDown, before finally defeating Kennedy by pinfall on the August 4 episode of SmackDown. 69-70. Bautista faced Big Show for the ECW World Championship on the August 1 episode of ECW, winning the match by disqualification but failing to win the championship as titles cannot change hands by disqualification. 71 He then set his sights on King Booker's World Heavyweight Championship, with the two facing in a match for the title at 2006 SummerSlam on August 20. However, Bautista also won this match by disqualification. 72 During a commercial shoot for the SummerSlam pay-per-view, Booker T and Bautista reportedly got into a legitimate fist fight, with Booker T accusing Bautista of considering himself superior to the rest of the roster due to his quick climb to main event status. It was also reported that some wrestlers on the SmackDown brand agreed with Booker T. 73-74-75 Bautista continued his pursuit of the championship, failing to capture it once again in a fatal four-way at No Mercy on October 8, also involving Finlay and Bobby Lashley. 76 Before finally defeating King Booker to regain the World Heavyweight Championship at Survivor Series on November 26. 177 The following month at Armageddon on December 17, Bautista teamed with John Cena to defeat King Booker and Finlay, putting an end to the rivalry. 78. Bautista holding the World Heavyweight Championship and a flag of Puerto Rico in 2006. Going into 2007, Bautista began a short feud with Mr. Kennedy over the championship. 79 Bautista retained the championship over Kennedy at the Royal Rumble on January 28. 80 Bautista's next challenger was The Undertaker, the winner of the Royal Rumble match. 81 The two formed a reluctant alliance to face John Cena and Shawn Michaels at No Way Out on February 18, which they lost after Bautista turned on The Undertaker midway through the match. 82 At WrestleMania 23 on April 1, Bautista lost the World Heavyweight Championship to The Undertaker. 83 They continued their feud with a last man standing match at Backlash on April 29, which ended in a draw. 84 The two wrestled again in a steel cage match on the May 11 episode of SmackDown, which also ended in a draw. Following the match, Edge took advantage and won the title from The Undertaker by cashing in his Money in the Bank contract. 85 Afterward, Bautista challenged Edge unsuccessfully for the World Heavyweight Championship at Judgment Day on May 20, One Night Stand on June 3, in a steel cage match, and Vengeance, Night of Champions on June 24, in a last chance match. 86-87 The loss at Vengeance stipulated that Bautista could no longer get another chance at the World Heavyweight Championship while Edge remained champion. 88 Bautista accepted an open challenge from the Great Khali at the Great American Bash on July 22. Edge relinquished the title due to an injury the week before the Great American Bash, and Khali became the new World Heavyweight Champion, winning a battle royal and eliminating Bautista. 89 Bautista and Kane, Edge's title opponent, faced Khali at the Great American Bash in a triple threat match where Khali retained the title. 90 Bautista received a disqualification victory against Khali at SummerSlam on August 26 after Khali used a steel chair, thus Khali retained the title again. 91 Bautista finally claimed his third World Heavyweight Championship after 8 consecutive attempts, by defeating Khali in a triple threat match that included Rey Mysterio at Unforgiven on September 16. 192 His first challenge was from the Great Khali in a Punjabi prison match at No Mercy on October 7 where Bautista retained his title. He won the match by leaping from the inner bamboo structure to the outer one, shortening his escape route and beating Khali to the floor. 93 After the return of The Undertaker at Unforgiven, the duo reignited their feud at Cyber Sunday on October 28 where the fans chose Stone Cold Steve Austin as the special guest referee. Bautista pinned The Undertaker after 2 Bautista bombs. 94 The feud continued with a Hell in a Cell match at Survivor Series on November 18. During the match, Edge returned and interfered by giving The Undertaker a concerto. He then pulled an unconscious Bautista on top of The Undertaker for the pinfall to retain the World Heavyweight Championship. 95 At Armageddon on December 16, Edge won a triple threat match, alongside The Undertaker for Bautista's World Heavyweight Championship. 96 Bautista in June 2008. Bautista appeared in the Royal Rumble on January 27, 2008, and made the final 3 before being eliminated by Triple H. 97 At No Way Out on February 17, he was part of the SmackDown Elimination Chamber match and eliminated Big Daddy V, but was last eliminated by The Undertaker. 98 At WrestleMania XXIV on March 30, he defeated Umaga in an interpromotional match. After Shawn Michaels defeated Ric Flair in a career-threatening match, forcing Flair to retire, later that night 99 Bautista began a feud with Michaels, calling him selfish and egotistical. 100 The two faced off at Backlash on April 27 with Chris Jericho as the special guest referee. Michaels won after faking a knee injury and performing Sweet Chin music. 101 Bautista then defeated Michaels at One Night Stand on June 1 in a stretcher match, thus ending their feud. 102 On the June 23 episode of Raw, Bautista was drafted to the Raw brand during the 2008 WWE Draft. 103 After failing to win the World Heavyweight Championship from Edge at Night of Champions on June 29, 104 Bautista attacked Edge the following night on Raw, allowing CM Punk to cash in his Money in the Bank contract on Edge and win the World Heavyweight Championship. 105 This set up a title match between Bautista and Punk at the Great American Bash on July 20 which ended in a double disqualification after Kane interfered and attacked both men. 106 The following night on Raw, Bautista and Punk had a rematch. Bautista won by disqualification after he was attacked by JBL. As John Cena came to the ring to fight JBL, he inadvertently punched Bautista as JBL ducked. 107 This started a program between Cena and Bautista leading up to SummerSlam on August 17, for which a match was made official by Raw General Manager Mike Adamle. 108 This was the first time a match between the two would occur, as they had each been on separate brands since they both debuted in 2002. On the August 4th episode of Raw, Bautista and Cena won the World Tag Team Championship from Cody Rhodes and Ted DiBiase, making Bautista a three-time World Tag Team Champion. 109-110 The next week on Raw, Bautista and Cena lost the World Tag Team Championship back to Rhodes and DiBiase. 111 After losing the titles, the two had to be separated by multiple officials. Bautista defeated Cena at SummerSlam, legitimating injuring Cena's neck in the process. 112. Bautista then competed in the World Heavyweight Championship Scramble match at Unforgiven on September 7 and was 8 seconds away from being a four-time world champion, but Chris Jericho snuck in and pinned Kane in the waning seconds. 113 On October 26 at Cyber Sunday On October 26, Bautista defeated Jericho for his fourth World Heavyweight Championship in a match in which Stone Cold Steve Austin was voted in as the special guest referee. 114 Bautista's reign, however, only lasted 8 days when Jericho won the title back in a steel cage match on the 800th episode of Raw on November 3. 115. Bautista then entered a feud with former Evolution partner, Randy Orton, at Survivor Series on November 23. Bautista led a team of himself, CM Punk, Kofi Kingston, Matt Hardy, and R-Truth to face the team of Randy Orton, Shelton Benjamin, William Regal, Cody Rhodes, and Mark Henry. Orton's team won with Orton pinning Bautista, winning the match for his team. 116 His feud with Orton continued up to Armageddon on December 14 where Bautista defeated Orton. 117 On the December 15th episode of Raw, Bautista was put into a handicap match against The Legacy with John Cena as his partner. During the match, Orton struck Bautista with a punt to the head. Bautista was knocked out and put out of action indefinitely due to a storyline head injury. WWE.com later reported that Bautista elected to undergo surgery to repair a hamstring tear. 118 His hamstring was injured at SummerSlam, in the same match that John Cena was forced out of action with a neck injury. He was expected to be out of action for 6 to 8 months. WWE Champion, 2009 to 2010. Bautista returned on the April 6, 2009 episode of Raw to save Triple H, Shane McMahon, and Vince McMahon from The Legacy, Randy Orton, Cody Rhodes, and Ted DiBiase. 119 Vince McMahon then scheduled Bautista to team up with WWE Champion Triple H and Shane McMahon to face The Legacy at Backlash on April 26. 120 During the match, Bautista had brought out a chair, but Triple H tried to stop him, so they would not get disqualified, which would have cost Triple H the championship. This distraction, however, cost Triple H his championship, after he lost it to Orton. 121 The following night on Raw, Bautista won a singles match against Big Show due to a distraction by John Cena, to become the number one contender for the WWE Championship at Judgment Day on May 17, 122, which he won by disqualification. 123 Bautista went on to defeat Orton in a rematch at Extreme Rules on June 7 in a steel cage match to capture his first WWE Championship. 124 However, on the June 8 episode of Raw, Bautista was to vacate the title due to a staged brutal attack by Orton and The Legacy. It was later revealed that Bautista had suffered a legitimate torn left bicep similar to what he suffered in 2006. Legacy was given on-screen credit for his injury. 125. Bautista returned on the September 14 episode of Raw with his arm still in a vice. Randy Orton, assuming Bautista was retiring, claimed that he ended Bautista's career. Bautista then removed his arm vice, which turned to be fake, and attacked Orton. He then stated that he would not retire, but moved to SmackDown instead. Later that night, he defeated Orton in a no-holds-barred match which was to be his last match on Raw. 126. Following his return to SmackDown, Bautista defeated unified WWE Tag Team Champions Jericho, Chris Jericho and Big Show, in singles competition. 127-128. These two victories culminated in a tag team title match against Jericho with his partner Rey Mysterio on October 4th at Hell in a Cell on October 4th, which Jericho won. 129. At Bragging Rights on October 25th, Bautista was unsuccessful in winning the World Heavyweight Championship in a fatal four-way match including CM Punk, Rey Mysterio, and champion The Undertaker. During the match, Mysterio broke up Bautista's pin on The Undertaker, costing him the match and the title. After the match, which The Undertaker won, Bautista and Mysterio appeared to patch things up, but Bautista said he was tired of coming so close only to be stabbed in the back and told Mysterio he was going to rip his head off. Bautista proceeded to brutally attack Mysterio, turning heel for the first time since 2005. 130. Bautista faced Mysterio on November 22 at Survivor Series, where Bautista won via referee stoppage after delivering 3 Bautista bombs to Mysterio. 131. Bautista defeated Mysterio again in a street fight on the December 11th episode of SmackDown. 132. On December 13th at TLC, Tables, Ladders and Chairs, Bautista faced The Undertaker for the World Heavyweight Championship in a chairs match. Bautista initially won the match and the title, but SmackDown General Manager Theodore Long reversed the decision because Bautista had hit The Undertaker with a low blow behind the referee's back. The match was restarted with The Undertaker winning and retaining the championship. 133. 5 days later, Bautista lost to Mysterio in a number 1 contenders match for the World Heavyweight Championship. 134. Mysterio's title match against The Undertaker on the December 25th episode of SmackDown ended as a no contest after interference from Bautista. 135. At the Royal Rumble on January 31, 2010, Bautista entered the Royal Rumble match at number 30, but failed to win as he was eliminated by John Cena. 136. Bautista then became involved in WWE Chairman Vince McMahon and Bret Hart's rivalry by assisting McMahon in attacking Hart. John Cena attempted to save Hart, but was assaulted by Bautista. 137. On February 21 at Elimination Chamber, as payment for Bautista attacking Hart, McMahon allowed Bautista to face Cena for the WWE Championship immediately after Cena won the title in an Elimination Chamber match. Bautista won the match and thus his second WWE Championship, which resulted in Bautista moving back to Raw. 138. On March 28 at WrestleMania XXVI, Bautista lost the WWE Championship to John Cena in a rematch, ending his reign at 35 days. 139. 140. Bautista received his rematch for the title in a last man standing match on April 25 at Extreme Rules, but was defeated by Cena after Cena duct taped his legs around a ring post, preventing him from standing up. 141. Bautista and Cena faced off once again for the WWE Championship on May 23 at Over the Limit, but he failed again to regain the title from Cena in an I Quit match, quitting as Cena threatened to give him the attitude adjustment off the roof of a car. Cena did so anyway, throwing Bautista off of the car and through the stage below. 142. The following night on Raw, Bautista opened the show in a wheelchair and claimed that he would be pursuing legal action against Cena and WWE for his injuries, which he revealed in 2014 to be a legitimate compression fracture of his L1 spine. 143. His promo was interrupted by new Raw General Manager Bret Hart, who ordered he face an injured Randy Orton to qualify for a shot at WWE Championship against Cena again at the new Fatal 4-Way pay-per-view. Bautista refused and quit the company after Hart named Orton winner by forfeit. His profile was subsequently moved to the alumni page on WWE's website. 144. He later said in an interview that he left WWE because he did not like the direction the company was going in. 145. Return to WWE. 2014. Upon his return, Bautista won the 2014 Royal Rumble match and would go on to main event WrestleMania XXX. Bautista made his return to WWE on the January 20, 2014, episode of Raw. Despite returning as a face and winning the Royal Rumble on January 26, 147, the live crowd reacted negatively towards Bautista's win, as Daniel Bryan did not take part in the match. Despite a positive reaction initially upon his return, the fans in attendance at the Royal Rumble rejected Bautista in favor of Bryan and continued to boo him after Roman Reigns was last eliminated. 148 After the show went off the air, Bautista mocked Bryan and gestured his middle finger at the crowd. 149 According to Bautista, he thought a return as a face was a bad idea because of the fans being so invested in Daniel Bryan's Yes Movement storyline. 150 At the Elimination Chamber event on February 23 and on the February 24 episode of Raw, Bautista was heavily booed by the fans during matches against Alberto Del Rio. 151 Thus resulting in Bautista turning heel on the February 28 episode of SmackDown. 152 The main event of WrestleMania XXX on April 6, originally Bautista vs Randy Orton for the WWE World Heavyweight Championship, was changed to a triple threat match after Bryan defeated Triple H at WrestleMania to qualify for the match. At WrestleMania, Bryan forced Bautista to submit to win the title. 153. Orton and Bautista would later reunite with Triple H to reform Evolution to feud with The Shield. On the April 7 episode of Raw, Bautista and Orton teamed together to face the Usos for the WWE Tag Team Championship, but the match ended in a double countout. 154 Later that night, Bautista and Orton, along with Kane, attacked Bryan before he was set to defend his title against Triple H. Before Triple H could defeat Bryan, The Shield interrupted by spearing Triple H and taking out Bautista, Orton, and Kane, causing the match to end in a no contest. 155 On the April 14 episode of Raw, Bautista, Triple H and Randy Orton came down to the ring to attack The Shield after their 11-on-3 handicap match, using the name and the theme of Evolution. 156 At both Extreme Rules on May 4 and Payback on June 1, Evolution lost to The Shield. 157-158 On the June 2 episode of Raw, Bautista quit WWE after Triple H denied him a shot at the WWE World Heavyweight Championship. 159 Bautista legitimately quit the WWE due to creative differences soon after. 161 Second return to WWE, 2018 to 2019. On October 16, 2018, Bautista reunited with the rest of Evolution for an appearance on SmackDown's 1000th episode, where Bautista teased a match with Triple H, as Triple H had never beaten Bautista in singles competition. 162 The storyline between them started on February 25, 2019, when Bautista viciously attacked Ric Flair and repeatedly demanded "Give me what I want" to Triple H, which became a popular phrase associated with Bautista. 163 At WrestleMania 35, Bautista and Triple H would face each other in a no-holds-barred match with Triple H's career on the line, where Bautista lost after interference from Ric Flair. 164 The next day, Bautista announced his retirement from professional wrestling. 165-166. On December 9, 2019, WWE officially announced that Bautista would be inducted into the WWE Hall of Fame as a part of the class of 2020. 167 The event was postponed due to the COVID-19 pandemic, and it was announced that the class of 2020 would be inducted alongside the class of 2021 at the 2021 event. Prior to the event, however, he was removed from the list. 168 He tweeted to confirm his removal, citing previous obligations as the reason why he could not attend the 2021 event. He also said that WWE honored his request to induct him at a future ceremony. 169. Professional wrestling style and persona. Bautista performing his finishing move, the Bautista Bomb, on Finlay at a WWE house show in 2006. Upon his return to WWE in 2014, Bautista was heavily booed by the crowd after winning the Royal Rumble, despite playing a heroic character. 170. In an interview with WWE.com, he said of the crowd reaction, "It was weird. It wasn't like a normal response. It was almost like a personal attack. It had to do with factors that were not in my control, factors and things that were going on in the company with other people, stuff that really had nothing to do with me. To me, it was a little frustrating, a little confusing, and, you know, I don't want to say I completely took it personal, but I did somewhat." 171. The fan reaction caused storyline changes, with Bautista turning into a villainous character. 152. Wrestling legend Mick Foley opined that Bautista was simply the wrong guy in the wrong place at the wrong time. Unfortunately for Dave, his return happened to be part of the perfect storm, the night WWE fans wanted Daniel Bryan, WWE Universe, to walk out as the winner of the 2014 #Royal Rumble, and would settle for nothing less. 172. 173. Bautista was declared the 50th greatest wrestling villain of all time by a WWE article in 2012. 174. WWE has also ranked him as the second best world heavyweight champion of all time. 175. WWE advertised Bautista as being 6 feet 6 in tall and weighing 290 pounds, both of which are different from his real height of 6 feet 4 in an unknown weight. 176. 1. Mixed martial arts career. The closing moments of Bautista's win against Vince Lucero in 2012. After leaving WWE, Bautista attended Strikeforce, Los Angeles on June 16, 2010, having previously registered an interest in competing in MMA. 177. 5 days later, he said that he would be embarking on an MMA career. 178. He became a brown belt in Brazilian Jiu-Jitsu under Cesar Gracie. 179. Bautista and Strikeforce agreed on a price and were negotiating a contract. However, in April 2011, Bautista stated that negotiations fell through when the organization was bought by the Zuffa Company. 180. Bautista was expected to make his MMA debut against Rashid Evans on October 6, 2012, at CES MMA, Real Pain in Providence, Rhode Island. 181. 182. However, on October 1, 2012, Evans was forced out of the bout after a probation violation landed him back in jail. Evans was replaced by journeyman and 40-fight veteran Vince Lucero. Bautista went on to win the fight by technical knockout, TKO, at 4:05 in the first round. 183. Acting career. Bautista at the 2016 San Diego Comic-Con. Bautista has acted in several television shows as both himself and his wrestling character. He guest starred in the 8th episode of Season 6 of Smallville as Aldar, an extraterrestrial who escaped from the Phantom Zone and who sucks the bones out of people for nourishment. 184. In June 2009, he made a cameo appearance as himself on the Australian soap opera Neighbours. 185. In 2010, he appeared in an episode of Chuck 186 and also made a cameo appearance in Relative Strangers. 12. He starred in the 2010 action film Wrong Side of Town. 187. Bautista appeared as the villainous brass body in the Universal Studios film The Man with the Iron Fists. 188. Bautista played Drax the Destroyer in the 2014 Marvel Studios film Guardians of the Galaxy, which was a critical and commercial success. 189. He played Mr. Hinks in the James Bond film Spectre, 2015, 190 and starred as the villain Tong Po in the martial arts film Kickboxer, Vengeance, 2016. 191 He was widely praised for his supporting role in Blade Runner 2049, 2017. 192-193 He reprised his role as Drax in Guardians of the Galaxy Volume 2, 2017, 194 Avengers, Infinity War, 2018, and Avengers, Endgame, 2019. 195. In 2018, Bautista joined his castmates in support of Guardians of the Galaxy director James Gunn after Gunn's firing over old tweets joking about pedophilia and rape. 196 He called Gunn's firing nauseating and declared that he would ask to be recast if Disney, the parent company of Marvel Studios, did not use Gunn's script for Guardians of the Galaxy Volume 3. 197 Gunn was reinstated as the film's director in March 2019. 198 In May 2021, he confirmed that the upcoming Guardians of the Galaxy Volume 3 would be his final appearance as Drax. 199. Bautista starred in Army of the Dead, 2021, 200 and had a villainous role in Dune, 2021, 201 which was released to critical and commercial success. 202-203 He also appeared as Duke in Glass Onion, a Knives Out mystery, 2022, and starred in M. Night Shyamalan's horror film Knock at the Cabin, 2023. 204 He appeared in the fantasy-adventure film In the Lost Lands, 2025. 205-206. Other media. Bautista at a WWE meet and greet in 2005. Bautista appeared on the covers of the April 2005 Flex 207 and Muscle and Fitness for September 2008. 208 Along with John Cena and Ashley Massaro, he appeared representing WWE on an episode of Extreme Makeover, Home Edition in January 2007, giving the kids of the family whose house was renovated WWE merchandise and 8 tickets to WrestleMania 23. 209. According to the Wrestling Figure Checklist, Bautista had 171 action figures released in the 2000s and 2010s, most were released in the mid to late 2000s by Jakks Pacific. 210 He remarked on his 2007 appearance on MTV Cribs, "I was trying to collect my action figures, but I gave up, there became too many." 211 Better source needed. Bautista in 2023. On October 16, 2007, his autobiography, Bautista Unleashed, was released. 17 In an interview about it, he claimed, "I didn't want to tell my story unless it was honest. You have to go through 3 sets of lawyers, Simon & Schuster lawyers, WWE lawyers, my lawyers. Everything now being the way it is, you can be sued for the simplest thing." 212. There was controversy over the book's mention of Chris Benoit, a wrestler who killed his wife and strangled his son in a murder-suicide, and about whom other details were removed from the book. Bautista said, "I loved the guy. I despise what he did, but that doesn't erase him from my life. I fought to keep him in there and am glad they did." 212. When asked about his ex-wife, Angie, Bautista says, "We have really become close again, which we really haven't been in years. I really learned a lot about her, and she learned a lot about me from reading the book. She actually saw things from a different perspective from reading the book. So that was definitely therapeutic." 212. Bautista held a campaign to raise money for Ovarian Cancer Research Alliance in 2010 because of Angie's ovarian cancer battle. 213 Better source needed. During the week of November 5, 2007, Bautista appeared on Family Feud with several other WWE wrestlers. 214. On September 7, 2008, he was a judge on an episode of Iron Chef America, with snails as the theme ingredient. 215 Along with Candice Michelle, Shelton Benjamin, and Josh Matthews, he represented the WWE at the 2008 Democratic National Convention in an effort to persuade fans to register to vote in the 2008 presidential election. 216 He has also appeared on MTV Cribs showing his house and cars. 217 Non-primary source needed his first biographical DVD, Bautista, I Walk Alone, was released through WWE Productions on October 20, 2009. A second DVD, WWE Bautista, The Animal Unleashed, released June 2014, continued his life story, detailing his departure from WWE in 2010 and his return to it in 2014. 218. Personal life. Bautista in July 2013. Bautista married his first wife, Glenda, in 1990. They had two daughters together, Kehlani, b. 1990, and Athena, b. 1992, before they divorced in 1998. 219 Bautista married his second wife, Angie, on October 13, 1998. They have a son together, Oliver 220, and divorced in 2006. 221 Before the age of 40, Bautista already had two grandsons through Kehlani. 222-223 In October 2015, he married competitive pole dancer Sarah Jade. 224 They separated in early 2019. 220. Bautista is 6 feet 4 inches, 1.93 m, tall and weighed around 275 pounds, 125 kilograms, as of August 2020, later slimming down to around 240 pounds, 110 kilograms, by September 2024. 225 He has numerous tattoos, including a large dragon on his back, red kanji lettering on his upper left biceps which says Angel, in tribute to Angie, a signature design on his upper right biceps, and a small sun on his abdomen which encircles his navel. 226 He also has a tattoo on his arm of the flags of Greece and the Philippines. While taking time off due to injury in 2009, he had both upper arms covered in large, tribal-style tattoos, and the phrase DC Soldier added to his right biceps. 227 He once had a tattoo of a meteor on his arm, a logo associated with former friend Manny Pacquiao, but had it covered up with a sugar skull design after Pacquiao made homophobic remarks. 228 Beginning in 2010, Bautista began eating a mostly plant-based, pescatarian diet, and in 2021 planned to go completely vegan in the near future. 229. Bautista has asthma and by his own admission used to hide inhalers in several places under the ring during his wrestling matches. 230. A baseball fan, Bautista grew up following the New York Yankees, although he has since embraced the Washington Nationals, who play at Nationals Park blocks from Bautista's childhood home. 231. Bautista supported Bernie Sanders in the 2020 Democratic Party presidential primaries. 232 He endorsed Joe Biden in the 2020 United States presidential election and appeared in an ad for his presidential campaign. 233-234 In 2024, Bautista, who supported U.S. Vice President and presidential candidate Kamala Harris, filmed a video demeaning her opponent, Donald Trump, for Jimmy Kimmel Live. Jackson Champion, born November 16, 2004, is an American actor. He is best known for his role as Miles, Spider, Socorro in James Cameron's Avatar, The Way of Water, 2022, and Avatar, Fire and Ash, 2025. 3 He also played Ethan Landry in the slasher film Scream 6, 2023. Life and career. Jack Champion was born on November 16, 2004 and is a native of Blacksburg, Virginia. 14 He was raised by his mother, a microbiologist. 1. He has credited her for encouraging his interest in acting. 5. He began acting at age 8, starting in school theater and eventually began working in short films. 5. In 2015, he had a small role in the documentary series American Genius. 6. In 2017, Champion booked a screen test to join the cast of James Cameron's science fiction film Avatar: The Way of Water. 7. Before he was cast in the role, he filmed a small part in the superhero film Avengers: Endgame, 2019, as a kid on a bicycle. 7. He also had a leading role in the horror film The Night Sitter, 2018. 8. Champion booked his part in Avatar at age 12, after 4 months of extensive auditions. 4. He was cast as Miles Socorro, a human teenager living amongst Avis on Pandora. 9, 10, 11. The nature of Champion's role meant that he had to film all his scenes twice, once as a reference for his co-stars, including Sam Worthington, Zoe Saldana, and Sigourney Weaver, and another to actually film the actor in live action. 12. His work involved 2 years of performance capture on a sound stage, followed by 2.5 years of filming the same scenes in live action in New Zealand. 7. He learned free diving and scuba diving for scenes that were filmed underwater. 13. After 5 years of production, the film was released in 2022, after Champion turned 18. 4. It earned over $2 billion worldwide, becoming the third highest grossing film of all time. 14. Champion concurrently shot for the sequel, Avatar: Fire and Ash, which released in 2025, and portions of Avatar 4, which will release in 2029. This was primarily done so that Champion would not age out of his role. 15, 16, 17. In 2023, Champion appeared alongside an ensemble cast in the slasher film Scream 6. In contrast to his experience of working on Avatar, he described filming Scream 6 as a really fun summer vacation. 5. He then played the son of star Liam Neeson's character in the action thriller Retribution, a remake of the 2015 Spanish film of the same name. 18. Champion next appeared alongside an ensemble cast in Anna Boden and Ryan Fleck's 1980s set action drama film Freaky Tales, which premiered at the 2024 Sundance Film Festival. 19. In addition to the Avatar sequels, Champion next starred in the family drama Everything's Going to Be Great and in the action thriller Trap House. Kate del Castillo Negri Trillo, Spanish pronunciation, Kate del Castillo Niet Trijo, born October 23, 1972, is a Mexican and American actress. At the age of 19, Del Castillo became known for her lead role in the telenovela Muchachitas for Televisa in 1991. Afterwards, she continued her career in film and television in Latin America, playing the leading roles in telenovelas, including Alguna vez tendremos alas, 1997, La Mentira, 1998, Ramona, 2000, Bejo la misma piel, 2003, 04, and La Reina del Sur, 2011 to 2023. In 2011, Del Castillo earned worldwide recognition for playing the lead role in the Telemundo series La Reina del Sur. In 2017, she went on to star in the Netflix political drama series Ingobernable, playing First Lady of Mexico Emilia Urquiza. Since then, Del Castillo has starred in the Peacock comedy drama series Till Jail Do Us Part, 2022, and the Fox crime drama series The Cleaning Lady, 2024. Del Castillo made her Hollywood debut as the female lead in the 2007 drama film Under the Same Moon, and later appeared in supporting roles in the films K-11, 2011, No Good Deed, 2014, The 33, 2015, El Chicano, 2019, and Bad Boys for Life, 2020. Early life. This biography of a living person needs additional citations for verification. Please help by adding reliable sources. Contentious material about living persons that is unsourced or poorly sourced must be removed immediately from the article and its talk page, especially if potentially libelous. Find sources: Kate del Castillo, Newspapers book scholar Jaster, May 2023, learn how and when to remove this message. Del Castillo was born in Mexico City, Mexico. She is the daughter of Kate Trillogram and Eric Del Castillo, a legend of Mexican cinema and a soap opera actor himself. Del Castillo has two siblings, a sister, the journalist Veronica Del Castillo III, and a half-brother, Ponciano, from her father's side. Career. Early works. Del Castillo at the 2012 Imagen Awards. Del Castillo made her acting debut in 1978 when she took part in a film called The Last Escape. She became well known in 1991 when she starred as Leticia in Muchachitas, a telenovela airing in several Latin American countries. The following year, she went to star in Magica Juventud. Her other leading roles in 1990s was in Azul, 1996, long-running Alguna vez tendremos alas, 1997, and La Mentira. In 1995 she appeared in the music video Fuego de Noche, Nieve de Dia by Ricky Martin. Citation needed. In early 2000s, Del Castillo played the leading roles in telenovelas Ramona, 2000, El Derecho de Nacer, 2001, and Bello la Misma Piel, 2003 to 2004. In 2003, she made her American television debut playing a recurring role in the PBS drama series American Family starring Edward James Olmos and Sonia Braga. In 2009, she had a recurring role in the Showtime dark comedy drama Weeds playing Pilar Ziuazo, a powerful woman in Mexican politics. In 2002 and 2003, she embarked on an international tour alongside Argentine actor Saul Licezo with the play Cartas de Amor, Love Letters. In 2005, she starred alongside Demian Bichir in the romantic comedy film American Visa. In 2006, Del Castillo starred in the film Bordertown, which became her first role in Hollywood. In 2007, she went to star in the drama film Under the Same Moon directed by Patricia Riggin. The film grossed $23.3 million against $1.7 million budget. She also starred in a number of independent movies, include The Black Pimpernel, 2007, and Julia alongside Tilda Swinton. 6. In November 2007, Del Castillo was named one of the Stars of the Year and in 2011 one of the 25 most influential women and 50 most beautiful by People en Español magazine. 7-8 In 2009, Del Castillo was appointed ambassador for the Mexican Commission on Human Rights, and the following year she helped launch the Blue Heart campaign in order to raise awareness and fight human trafficking. 9. 2011, present. Del Castillo in 2016. In 2011, Del Castillo starred as Teresa La Mexicana Mendoza in the Telemundo telenovela La Reina del Sur based on a novel of the same name by Spanish author Arturo Porras Reverte, a role that skyrocketed her fame across Latin America. With a $10 million budget, it is the second most expensive telenovela ever produced by Telemundo. The series later was renewed for a second season, that premiered in 2019. 11 Del Castillo continued her collaboration with Telemundo in 2015, starring in Dueños del Paraíso. The telenovela is inspired by the drug trade of Miami in the 1970s. 12 She also appeared in a number of American television shows, include CSI, Miami, Grimm, and Dallas. In 2015, she had a recurring role as Rogelio de la Vega's ex-wife in the CW comedy series, Jane the Virgin. 13. On November 20, 2015, Del Castillo launched a new brand of tequila named Honor Del Castillo in association with the Vivanco family. She serves as the spokesperson for the brand. Del Castillo has also appeared in advertising campaigns for L'Oreal and Ford. 14. In 2012, Del Castillo starred in the Mexican film Colosio, El Asesinato, which centers around the assassination of the Mexican presidential candidate Luis Donaldo Colosio. The following year, She starred in the American prison drama film K-11. In later years, Del Castillo appeared in many American movies, including playing Idris Elba's ex in the 2014 thriller No Good Deed, Antonio Banderas' wife in the disaster survival drama The 33, All About Nina, 2018, El Chicano, 2019, and Bad Boys for Life, 2020. 15 In 2017, she went to star in the Netflix political thriller series, Ingobernable, playing the fictional First Lady of Mexico, Emilia Urquiza. 16 The second season premiered in 2018. In 2019, Del Castillo made her off-Broadway debut in the Audible Theater production of Isaac Gomez's play The Way She Spoke. 17 The performance earned her Drama Desk, Drama League, and Lucille Lortel Award for Outstanding Lead Actress in a Play nominations, making her the first Mexican actress to be nominated for 3 theater awards in New York. 18. In 2022, Del Castillo starred in the Peacock comedy drama series, Till Jail Do Us Part. 19 She is set to star and produce Volver a Caer, a 6-part miniseries that a modern take in Spanish on Leo Tolstoy's Anna Karenina. 20 In 2024 she joined the cast of Fox series The Cleaning Lady. 21 In 2024, Del Castillo was cast as Mexican singer Chabla Vargas in the miniseries Chabla. 22 She also was cast in the comedy film The Biggest Fan for Netflix, playing the role of disgraced actress Lana Cruz. 23. Personal life. One of Del Castillo's first known romantic relations was with Emilio Azcárraga Jean, son of media mogul Emilio Azcárraga Milmo, and now CEO of the largest mass media company in Latin America, the Televisa Group. 24 On February 3, 2001, she married football player Luis Garcia. The marriage was dissolved on September 1, 2004. In August 2009, Del Castillo married Aaron Diaz in a Las Vegas ceremony. On July 26, 2011, it was announced that Kate and Diaz were separating. Del Castillo was briefly romantically connected with Sean Penn from 2015 to 2016, although the actor's representatives contest this. 25. On August 22, 2005, it was reported by the LAPD that Del Castillo's new house in Los Angeles had been broken into by thieves, who took some jewelry from the actress. Del Castillo was in Los Angeles filming Border Town, a film about the female homicides in Ciudad Juarez, when the burglary occurred. A frequent activist for a variety of causes, she posed in a 2012 PETA ad campaign encouraging pet owners to fiercely protect their dogs and cats by keeping them indoors. 26 She became a citizen of the United States in September 2015 and resides in Los Angeles. 27. Relationship with El Chapo. On January 9, 2012, Del Castillo publicly posted an essay on Twitter, using Twextra, discussing social issues in Mexico 28 that included controversial statements directed towards Joaquim El Chapo Guzman, the head of the Sinaloa cartel. The essay included requests to Mr. Guzman to deal with love, with good things, and to begin to traffic in love. The most controversial portion of the essay stated, "Today I believe more in Chapo Guzman than in the government that hides painful truths from me, that hides the cure for cancer, AIDS, etc., for their own benefit and wealth." 29 30 31 32 33 34 Excessive. Citations. Del Castillo in 2017. Unbeknownst to Del Castillo, Guzman was a longtime fan who harbored romantic feelings for her. Authorities found DVDs of La Reina del Sur at the safe house stormed during Guzman's initial capture. 35 Del Castillo was contacted by Guzman's lawyer to discuss producing a biographical film about Guzman in 2014. 36 As a result of the meetings, she obtained the rights to his life and was unknowingly placed under season surveillance. Communication increased following Guzman's escape from prison in July 2015. 36 She received a cell phone and the code names Hermosa and Dama from Guzman. 37 She brokered an interview between American actor Sean Penn and Guzman in October 2015, shortly before Mexican Marines recaptured him. Del Castillo claims in her documentary for Netflix that she did not know Penn intended to interview the drug lord during the meeting. 38 Season later released photographs of Del Castillo at the meetings with Guzman's lawyer and of the arrival of the actress and Penn to Mexico. Aftermath. Sean Penn and Del Castillo's actions remain under investigation by the Attorney General of Mexico. 37 She was subpoenaed on January 18, 2016, and was to testify before the public prosecutor at the Mexican consulate in Los Angeles. 39 Del Castillo was originally under investigation for money laundering in relation to the planned movie about Guzman and her tequila brand Honor Del Castillo. 40 The investigation was suspended in 2017 as there was no evidence that proved that Guzman ever paid Del Castillo any money. Citation needed. On February 5, 2016, a Mexican judge granted Del Castillo's petition for an injunction against any arrest related to the federal investigation into her ties with Joaquin Guzman. The Mexican Attorney General issued a detain and interrogate order on Del Castillo, however, that would only become effective if Del Castillo set foot on Mexican soil. That order was issued after she did not heed a request to voluntarily appear before Mexican prosecutors. 41. Kate Del Castillo did not return to Mexico until December 2018 and therefore since the injunction was issued 42 in 2016 and 2017 filming locations for Ingobernable were changed to San Diego to accommodate restrictions on her travel. Citation needed. The Day I Met El Chapo, the Kate Del Castillo story premiered in 2017 on Netflix, based on the events surrounding Del Castillo's communications with El Chapo. Bobby Cannavale, /Cannavale, born May 3, 1971, is an American actor. His breakthrough came with the leading role as FDNY paramedic Roberto Bobby Caffey in the NBC series Third Watch, a role he played from 1999 to 2001. Cannavale received the Primetime Emmy Award for Outstanding Guest Actor in a Comedy Series for Will and Grace in 2005, and received nominations for his recurring role on Nurse Jackie, 2012, 2013. 2. He won the Primetime Emmy Award for Outstanding Supporting Actor in a Drama Series for portraying Gyp Rossetti in Boardwalk Empire in 2013. 3 other television roles include Vinyl, Mr. Robot, Blue Bloods, and Master of None. He has also starred in the Amazon Prime series Homecoming, 2018-20, the Hulu series 9 Perfect Strangers, 2021, and Netflix's The Watcher, 2022. Cannavale made his Broadway debut in the 2008 Teresa Rebeck play Mauritius, for which he earned a nomination for the Tony Award for Best Featured Actor in a Play. In 2011, he starred in the Stephen Adly Guirgis comedic play The Motherfucker with the Hat, earning a Tony Award for Best Actor in a Play nomination. He portrayed Richard Roma in the 2012 revival of David Mamet's Glengarry Glen Ross. Cannavale has acted in the drama films The Station Agent, 2003, Win-Win, 2011, Blue Jasmine, 2013, I, Tanya, 2017, Motherless Brooklyn, 2019, The Irishman, 2019, and Blonde, 2022, as well as the comedy films Paul Blart, Mall Cop, 2009, The Other Guys, 2010, Annie, 2014, Spy, 2015, and Jumanji, Welcome to the Jungle, 2017. He entered the Marvel Cinematic Universe, MCU, portraying Jim Paxton in Ant-Man, 2015, and Ant-Man and the Wasp, 2018. He has voiced recurring roles for the animated Netflix series BoJack Horseman and Big Mouth, and provided voice acting work for The Nut Job 2, Nutty by Nature, Ferdinand, both 2017, Tom and Jerry, Sing 2, both 2021, and Under the Boardwalk, 2023. Early life. Cannavale was born on May 3, 1970, in Union City, New Jersey, where he grew up, the son of Isabel and Salvatore Sal Cannavale. His father is of Italian descent, while his mother is Cuban and moved to the US in 1960. 5-6 His uncle is Enzo Cannavale, an Italian actor who performed in the Academy Award-winning Cinema Paradiso. 7 He was raised Catholic and attended St. Michael's Catholic School, where he participated in a number of extracurricular activities, including being an altar boy and member of the chorus. 8 When he was 8, Cannavale secured the plum role of the lisping boy, Winthrop, in his school's production of The Music Man, and later played a gangster in Guys and Dolls, which cemented his love for performing. Cannavale's parents divorced when he was 13 and his mother moved the family to Puerto Rico. After 2 years in the American territory, they settled in Margate, Florida. From 1983 to 1986, Cannavale attended Coconut Creek High School 9-10, but during his senior year, he was expelled for being a cut-up. 5 He then returned to New Jersey to live with his grandmother, in order to be closer to New York to launch his acting career, and went to summer school to earn a diploma from Union Hill High School. 11, 12, 13 Career. Cannavale in 2009. Cannavale began his acting career in the theater, with no acting training, and gained early film roles in Night Falls on Manhattan, 1997, and The Bone Collector, 1999. Cannavale became well known when he starred as Bobby Caffey for 2 seasons on Third Watch. Following this, in 2001, he starred with Alan Arkin in 100 Center Street, which was written and directed by Sidney Lumet, his then father-in-law. In 2002, he joined the cast of Ally McBeal for the last 5 episodes, but the show was then cancelled. Following this, he starred with Yancey Arias and Cheryl Lee in the miniseries Kingpin. In 2003, Cannavale briefly appeared on the last 2 episodes of Oz. He also appeared in the film The Station Agent as a man who befriends a little person removed from society. From 2004 to 2006, he had a recurring guest role on Will and Grace as Vince D'Angelo, the boyfriend and eventual husband of Will Truman, Eric McCormack. However, in the reboot, they are revealed not to be married. For this role, he won the Primetime Emmy Award for Outstanding Guest Actor in a Comedy Series in 2005. He has also appeared in the films The Guru, 2002, Shall We Dance? 2004, Romance and Cigarettes, 2005, and Snakes on a Plane, and guest starred in Sex and the City, 6 Feet Under, Oz, Law and Order, and its spin-off series Law and Order, Criminal Intent and Law and Order, Special Victims Unit. He appeared in The Take, 2007, as Agent Steve Perelli, alongside John Leguizamo and Tyrese Gibson. Cannavale serves as the voice of Corridor Charlo, known as Babe, in the Ken Burns PBS film series The War, the story of World War II, from the perspective of the men who fought in combat and their loved ones at home. He also read the audiobook versions of Richard Price's 2008 novel Lush Life and Ed Falco's 2012 novel The Family Corleone. On August 25, 2008, ABC ordered his pilot Cupid, a remake of the 1998 program which had starred Jeremy Piven and Paula Marshall, to series. In the new version of the series, Cannavale starred opposite Sarah Paulson, with script development overseen by original series creator Rob Thomas. Cupid premiered on March 31, 2009, but was cancelled by ABC after less than 2 months, on May 19, 2009. 14-15. In 2008, he received a Tony Award nomination for his role as Dennis in the Broadway play, Mauritius. 16-17. In 2009, CBS announced Cannavale would reprise his role of Det. Eddie Saccardo on the television show, Cold Case, for 3 episodes, starting with the 3rd episode of Season 7. 18. Cannavale was in the film The Other Guys, 2010, and played the role of Terry Delfino in the film Win-Win, 2011. He later starred in the Broadway play The Motherfucker with the Hat alongside Chris Rock and Annabella Shora. On May 3, 2011, his 41st birthday, he was nominated for a Tony Award for his leading role in that production. 19. Cannavale at the Toronto International Film Festival in 2024. In 2012 and 2013, he guest starred in the 4th and 5th seasons of Showtime's Nurse Jackie, for which he was nominated twice again for the Primetime Emmy Award for Outstanding Guest Actor in a Comedy Series in 2012 and 2013-20, as well as joining the cast of HBO's Boardwalk Empire, portraying the psychopathic Sicilian gangster Gyp Rossetti in the 3rd season. His performance on Boardwalk Empire won critical acclaim, earning him the Primetime Emmy Award for Outstanding Supporting Actor in a Drama Series in 2013. That same year he also played Louis, a vengeful clown on Modern Family during the 3rd season, for which he was nominated for Best Guest Performer in a Comedy Series at the 2nd Critics' Choice Television Awards in 2012. 21 TV Guide, in its Cheers and Jeers 2012 issue, praised Cannavale for this trifecta of great performances, commenting, "This guy is so good at playing bad, it's scary." 22. He played what Matt Zoller cites of RoachRevert.com called a heroically moving lead role in Danny Collins in 2015. Since 2015, Cannavale has been involved with voiceover work for Playing on Air, a non-profit organization that records short plays for public radio and podcast written by top playwrights and performed by outstanding actors. 23. He has starred in 3 short plays, including Crazy Eights by David Lindsay-Abaire, co-starring Rosie Perez and John Leguizamo, Mere Mortals by David Ives, and Two Dads by David Auburn. 24, 25, 26. In January 2020, Cannavale appeared with his real-life partner Rose Byrne in the play Medea, written and directed by Simon Stone. 27, 28. In 2021, Cannavale played Tony Hogburn in the Nicole Kidman-led Hulu miniseries 9 Perfect Strangers, based on the novel of the same name by Liana Moriarty, which also featured Melissa McCarthy, Michael Shannon, Luke Evans, Samara Weaving, and Asher Ketty. 29-30. In 2022, Cannavale was seen portraying Dean Braddock in the 2022 Netflix series, The Watcher. Personal life. Cannavale with Rose Byrne in 2025. From 1994 to 2003, 31 Cannavale was married to actress/screenwriter Jenny Lumet, director Sidney Lumet's daughter and performer Lena Horne's granddaughter, with whom he has a son. 32 Actor Jake Cannavale. 31 Cannavale and Jake were cast as father and son in season 4 of Nurse Jackie. From 2004 to 2007, he was in a relationship with Annabella Shora. 33 Cannavale has been in a relationship with Australian actress Rose Byrne since 2012. 34 Their first son was born in 2016, and a second son in 2017. Danielle Fabiola in Navarrete 1/Indi Nviridi/Indi Navrete 2 born March 3, 2001, is an American actress. She is best known for playing Sarah Cushing in Superman and Lois, 2021 to 2024. 34 In 2026, she received critical acclaim for her performance in the horror film Obsession. 5. Early life. Navarrete was born in Tucson, Arizona, to an Australian mother and a Mexican father. Her father was in the U.S. military, and as a result, her family relocated frequently. 6 By the time she was 15, she had attended 11 different schools. After her parents' separation during her childhood, Navarrete spent the majority of her upbringing in Visalia, California. 6 She attended MT Whitney High School before relocating to Los Angeles to attend Redondo Union High School, after completing her freshman year elsewhere. 6 She credits her mother's side of the family for getting her interested in the acting industry. They would regularly watch the Academy Awards. Her mother and sister would always talk about Julia Roberts and Audrey Hepburn. 7 Career. Navarrette's first big role came in the sitcom series Denton's Death Date, where she played Veronica. 8. Navarrette was then cast in season 4 of the Netflix series 13 Reasons Why as Estela de la Cruz. 9. Navarrette's biggest role yet came when she got the part of Sarah Cushing in Superman and Lois. 10. It was announced in June 2023 that Navarrette and 6 of her co-stars were departing the show for season 4 due to budget cuts, but the plan was for some of them to appear as a cameo if possible. 11. Navarrette returned to make a few minor appearances in season 4. 12. In 2025, Navarrette played a role in the action film Trap House. 13. The same year, it was announced that she would star as the protagonist's love interest in the horror film Obsession 14, which was released theatrically on May 15, 2026. 15. Her performance earned critical acclaim, with Paul Tassi from Forbes calling it Oscar-worthy and writing that it blends so many different moods, so many different evolutions of a single character, that it makes her an all-time horror antagonist. 16. William Earl of Variety expressed the same sentiment, calling her performance singularly brave and brilliant, and that it reverberates long after the story ends. 17. In 2026, it was announced that Navarrette would star in the thriller film In Vertigo, for which a release date has yet to be announced. Blue Del Barrio, born September 15, 1997, is an American actor best known for playing Adder in Star Trek: Discovery. They are the first openly non-binary actor, playing the first non-binary role in Star Trek. Del Barrio has studied and engaged in the performing arts since childhood, graduating from the London Academy of Music and Dramatic Art, LAMDA, in 2019. They are outspoken in support of transgender visibility and inclusivity with accurate depiction in popular media. Early life. Blue Del Barrio was born September 15, 1997. 1-2 Better source needed. They grew up in Topanga, California. 3-2 They came out as non-binary in 2019 and as of April 2025 uses they/he/l pronouns. 3-4-5 Through their whole life, they had difficulty with their gender. 6-7 Realizing they might be non-binary after seeing Lachlan Watson on television. 6-7 Being cast as a non-binary character in Star Trek: Discovery helped them come out publicly as non-binary. 2-4 They chose the first name Blue in 2019, in honor of their favorite color from childhood. 6-7 Del Barrio studied ballet and theater in California before moving to the UK to study at the London Academy of Music and Dramatic Art, LAMDA, graduating in 2019. 3-8 Career. Del Barrio is skilled in stage combat, dance, and singing. 9 Having acted in theater and short films since they were 7 years old. 6-7-10 Del Barrio was cast in their first major role in September 2020 when it was announced that they would join the cast of Star Trek: Discovery as Trill Adder for the series' 3rd season. 11 Del Barrio felt a resonance with the highly intelligent, introverted character with what they consider to be puppy-like emotions. They are the first out non-binary actor in Star Trek, and Adder is Star Trek's first non-binary character. 4-12 Del Barrio told Nick Adams of GLAAD in 2024. When I got the call that I'd been cast as Adder, I hadn't yet told the majority of my friends and family that I was non-binary. I had only recently discovered the word and realized that it described how I'd felt for a long time. I knew I wanted to tell my friends and family, so when this happened, it felt like the universe saying go ahead. So in a way, Adder's story ends up mirroring mine. Just after I told people in my life, so did Adder. Definitely not the most common coming out story, but it was scary, special, and life-changing, as they usually are. Speaking with Adam B. Very for Variety in 2020, Discovery co-showrunners Alex Kurtzman and Michelle Paradise explained that they felt a responsibility to bring trans and non-binary character stories into the show, and that casting Del Barrio in the role was an easy choice, even shaping the character of Adder to fit who they called an extraordinary person. 11. Public image. Del Barrio is an advocate for the rights of trans people. 3-2 And has named Lachlan Watson, Inda Moore, Bex Taylor Klaus, Theo Germain, Asia Kate Dillon, and Jack Haven as non-binary role models for their career. 467 They have expressed a desire to work with Tim Burton, as well as on smaller budget independent films. 467 Upon joining the cast of Discovery with fellow actor Ian Alexander, Del Barrio has related to having felt overwhelmed too, in part due to feeling imposter syndrome, believing someone with more experience should have the role. 6711 and has expressed thankfulness for Alexander's presence and support. 413 Alexander, who originally auditioned for the role of Adara, plays Adara's lover the Trill Graytal. 311 Alexander and Del Barrio worked with Nick Adams, director of transgender representation at GLAAD, to portray their characters' gender identities. 41113 Personal life. Del Barrio is bilingual, speaking both Spanish and English to a native standard, and is a skilled paddleboarder. 9. They have referred to themselves as an introverted nerd who likes being alone, loves watching movies, video games, photography, and playing Dungeons and Dragons, D&D, with friends. 6-7 Cast members of Star Trek, Discovery 14 including Del Barrio and the regular Noah of Yearbook Cats, the Dungeon Master, Anthony Rapp, and Ian Alexander, and guests including Mary Wiseman, Emily Coutts, and Rapp's fiancé Ken Ithifal, started playing D&D together during the filming of the 4th season of Discovery and, by request, stream their sessions as Disco does D&D via Twitch. Trap House is a 2025 action thriller film directed by Michael Dowse and written by Gary Scott Thompson and Tom O'Connor. Set in El Paso, Texas, the film follows an undercover DEA agent, Dave Bautista, and his colleagues in a game of cat and mouse with their teenage children, who use their parents' tactics and intel to rob a dangerous cartel. 2. The cast includes Jack Champion, Sophia Lillis, Tony Dalton, Whitney Peak, Ind Navarrete, Zahir Adams, Kate Del Castillo, and Bobby Cannavale. It was released in the United States on November 14, 2025, by Aura Entertainment. Plot. A team of agents with the Drug Enforcement Agency, DEA, raids a tunnel used to funnel drugs. The team, led by Agents Seal and Washburn, comes under heavy fire, and an agent is killed. Seal's son, Cody, belongs to a friend group of high school students who are children of DEA agents. The group includes Jesse, the child of the agent who died. The death leaves Jesse's family in difficult financial circumstances, compelling them to move. Cody is upset that the DEA does not offer better financial help for Jesse's family. In Mexico, criminal boss Benito Cabrera is angry about the raid on the tunnel. He suspects a rat and orders the killing of one of his men. Cabrera's sister, Natalia, goes to El Paso to manage operations there. Cody and his friends get the idea to start robbing trap houses because they want the money for Jesse. Using their parents' intel and equipment, including night vision goggles, they pull off the heist but steal less than $500. They decide to do it again, robbing a van, stealing much more money, and further upsetting Cabrera. Denny ends up in the hospital with a delayed onset concussion. Cody wants to keep going by robbing another truck, but his friends are hesitant, only Kyle agrees to continue. They manage to steal the truck, which is filled with drugs, but Seal recognizes his son. Cody's girlfriend, Teresa, comes over to the house with her mom, who is revealed as Natalie. Teresa figures out that Cody stole the truck. Natalie has Denny kidnapped from the hospital. Cody must return the drugs to secure her return. Seals tracks Cody's phone. He and other DEA agents kill Benito and Natalie. Seals make it look like Cody was kidnapped along with Denny. Cast: Dave Bautista as Ray Seal, Jack Champion as Cody Seal, Sophia Lillis as Denny Matthews Albright, Kate Del Castillo as Natalia Cabrera, Tony Dalton as Benito Cabrera, Whitney Peak as Yvonne Reynolds, Bobby Cannavale as Andre Washburn, Ind Navarrete as Teresa Flores, Blue Del Barrio as Jesse Padilla, Zahir Adams as Kyle Morales Alvarez, Production. In April 2024, it was revealed that an action thriller film directed by Michael Dowse and written by Gary Scott Thompson and Tom O'Connor was in development, with Dave Bautista set to star and Jack Champion, Sophia Lillis, Kate Del Castillo, Whitney Peak, Tony Dalton, and Bobby Cannavale rounding out the main cast. Ind Navarrete, Zaire Adams, and Blue Del Barrio also joined the cast. The film was financed and executive produced by Capstone Studios, Signature Entertainment, Creativity Media, and Ashland Hill Media Finance. 3-4. Filming. Principal photography began on April 1, 2024 and took place in and around Albuquerque, New Mexico. 5. Release. In May 2025, Aura Entertainment acquired Trap House as its maiden release, scheduling it for a wide theatrical release in the United States on November 14, 2025. David Michael Bautista Jr., born January 18, 1969, is an American actor and retired professional wrestler. Regarded as one of the most prolific professional wrestlers of the Ruthless Aggression era, he rose to fame for his multiple stints in WWE between 2002 and 2019. Bautista began his wrestling career in 1999 and signed with WWE, then WWF, in 2000. From 2002 to 2010, he gained fame under the ring name Bautista, initially as a member of Evolution. Amongst other championships, Bautista would go on to win the WWE Championship twice and the World Heavyweight Championship 4 times. His first reign as World Heavyweight Champion was the longest in the title's history. He also won the 2005 and 2014 Royal Rumble matches and subsequently headlined WrestleMania 21 and WrestleMania XXX, with the former being one of the top 5 highest-grossing PPV events in wrestling history. He retired from professional wrestling after WrestleMania 35 in 2019. As an actor, Bautista is known for portraying Drax in the Marvel Cinematic Universe, 2014 to 2023, and Raven in Dune, 2021, and its 2024 sequel. Bautista has additionally starred in Spectre, 2015, Blade Runner 2049, 2017, Final Score, Master Z, Ip Man Legacy, both 2018, Army of the Dead, 2021, Glass Onion, A Knives Out Mystery, 2022, Knock at the Cabin and Parachute, both 2023, and The Last Showgirl,